Welcome back to Paths of Exile, not Diablo, with Shifuede, not a Ben. Not a Ben. Say something.
Hello.
There we go. The CIA, NSA, FBI have yet to kick in his door. It's remarkable.
It's inevitable, though.
Oh, we all know it. I mean, your name's on YouTube. It's a surefire way to go to prison.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I only have a limited recollection of where we were last time.
I do remember that we were somewhere towards the end of Act 1.
I thought we were about halfway through. So disclaimer, we're having bad weather this evening, and I'm out in the middle of nowhere with a poor internet connection, so that may cause some lag. We did a test game before we started recording, and it wasn't that bad, so hopefully it stays that way. And Not a Ben is logged in. Not a Ben has generated a new character because I decided to go a different way with my character after I had already told Ben what I was going to do with my character and told him to make a character to go with it. So when I changed my character design around, I put Ben into a situation where he had to completely respec. How do you feel about that, Ben?
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Of course, I am now having latency about 4 times higher than we did in the test play. Excellent. Excellent. Alright, so I have decided how we are going to spend our skill points. Yes. We are going to do a Templar Guardian support auras build. The best part about that is that most of the good auras and most of the equipment we need to make this build work are inaccessible until the late game. So this character is going to be useless until the late game. Once we get to the late game, he is going to be exclusively made for party play. His whole purpose is to buff the other members of the party. Beyond that, he may be useless all the same. Alright, so we are going to take this path up here, pick up some intelligence nodes. We are going to go for more intelligence than we are health, which means that he will not be able to take a very good beating in melee. Originally, his character was designed to be a melee tank plus auras. Oh, we've thrown that completely out. Now he is just going to be support. Melee tank will not be his forte at all. In this area up here, we're going to come down and take Retribution, which gives us 14% increased spell damage, 14% increased melee damage, 5% increased attack and cast speed, plus 10 to strength and intelligence. This is one of the few nodes we're going to take that will be remotely useful in the early game. Once we're done with that, we're going to come over, we're going to take these increased area of effect radiuses, and we're going to cut down. We're not going to take Amplify yet. We're going to wait till later to take it because it's not going to be super useful until we get some good auras. I was originally of the impression that Amplify did not affect auras, but I've read on the forum since then it does. If someone is watching this and they know otherwise, please let me know because that will change how I spec out this character. I'd like to know that before I spend a bunch of points. Once we're done with that, we are going to come down here. We're going to take elemental damage, 8% increased elemental damage. We are going to take Elementalist, plus 12% to all elemental resistances, plus 10% to elemental damage, 5% chance to freeze, shock, and ignite, and elemental damage, 8% increased elemental damage. We're not as much worried about the elemental damage there as we are the 12% elemental resistances. And because we want to gain access more directly to the mana and reduced mana cost nodes, which I obviously increase our maximum mana and reduce the cost of skills. Our main objective there is Righteous Decree, which will increase our maximum mana by 22% and reduce mana cost of skills by 6%. Although, by the end of this, we're going to have a lot of mana. We're also going to have a lot of mana reserve from auras. Auras reserve mana, which means it locks mana in and says you can't spend it anymore. It's useless to you until you get rid of the aura. So we want lots of mana so we have excess on top of the reserve, and we also want reduced mana costs so we can still cast spells effectively. Once we're done with that, we're going to come up here, we're going to circle around, we're going to take these Purity of Fleshes to get 8% increased maximum life, plus 8 to Chaos Resistance, and then some minor nodes here that do similar things, but to a lesser extent. 4% increased maximum life, 4% Chaos Resistance. And then we're going to go over and start picking up aura skills. In this case, Sovereignty, 6% reduced mana reserved, and 10% increased effective non-curse aura use to cast. Not going to be super useful until near the end of the game, but we're going to go ahead and sweep them up. At that point, we will make a decision to either go south and start picking up some more general nodes down here, such as Faith and Steel, which increases armor, maximum energy shield, and elemental resistances. Devotion, increased maximum life, increased effective non-curse auras, plus 20 to strength. And we will eventually work our way through a number of different skill nodes down here until we get to Champion of the Cause. 12% increased radius of aura skills, 4% reduced mana reserved, 6% increased effective non-cursed auras. Now, that's one path. We can go south, or we will consider going to the east, if I can find where I was. East, cutting up here through the Witch portion of the skill map. We will increase our mana. Okay, we will, for instance, get, I believe it's Deep Thoughts. Yes, increase maximum mana by 20%, 20% increased mana regen rate, plus 20 intelligence. We will work our way across. We're also going to take excuse me, I'm having technical difficulties. My computer just informed me I have no microphone. Ben, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, okay. Well, my computer's lying to me then. That's great. Because according to it, I have no microphone plugged in. But I also just checked the recording software and it seems fine too. So let's continue. I would cut that bit of dialogue out, but I'm too lazy. So like I said, we're going to go down here. We're going to take Heart and Soul, 8% increased maximum life, 10% increased maximum mana. We are more importantly going to take Eldritch Battery, which lets us spend Energy Shield instead of mana. From my understanding, mana reservation used to apply to Energy Shield when you had Eldritch Battery, but it no longer does. Again, if someone's more experienced with the game than I am, love to hear in the comments if that's how that works, because that will impact our build. The reason I'm doing that is because we're going to reserve most of our mana, and at that point I still want to have some mana with which to cast things. Another reason we're not going to be frontline, low health, and then we're spending our energy shield. So most of our defense is going to go up in smoke. We are going to come over here, get Influence. Again, buffs auras. We are going to come down here. We're going to get Leadership. We're going to take Harrier just because it's along the way. Leadership's another one that increases our auras. Harrier, increased attack speed, increased cast speed, increased movement. We're going to come down here. We're going to take Thrill Killer. 15 plus 15 to maximum mana. 15% increased to maximum mana. Plus 10 mana gained on kill. We're going to take all of these Chaos Resistance nodes here. And we are also going to come down here and take Charisma, which gets 8% reduced mana reserved and 6% increased effective non-cursed auras you cast. And people are inviting me to a guild, even though I have a guild. I think, or is that specific to characters? Not sure. This is actually only the second character I've played. I played my witch through a considerable part of the game with Mr. Not a Benjamin. but this is only the second character I've played, as I was saying. If you want to look more to what we're doing in the south, you have to excuse me. I have a window open on the side here that shows exactly what we're doing, so I've been cross-referencing it with that as we've gone, or as we're going along. And I am horribly lost on this map right now. Okay, there we go. Devotion, we're going to be taking that. Increased maximum life, buffs auras. I think I may have already stated that. We are going to come down here to something somewhere. There we go. Barbarism, 6% increased maximum life, plus 1 to maximum fire resistance, plus 8% to fire resistance. We're going to use that to cut across and come down. We are going to take fire resistance, plus 12 fire resistance, cold resistance, plus 12 percent to cold resistance. We are not going to bother with lightning resistance because I don't think it's as big of an issue. Ben, would you agree with that?
Mostly, lightning resistance does make you a little more susceptible to other damage, but it's not quite as critical as cold, which can put you in stun lock.
And fire, which deals hella damage. And
yeah, I don't know. I would kind of lean more towards lightning than fire too, because yeah, you burn, but I don't know. It can be countered with it can get countered with the health flask.
Yeah, that is true. You, our dear audience, if you have some thoughts on that, please let us know in the comments. The main reason I'm coming over here is I want Diamond Skin, plus 15% to all elemental resistances. Elemental resistance in this game, not a big deal early on. But you see, there's different difficulties. Once you complete the game, it opens the next difficulty, and once you finish that, it opens another difficulty. Again, not at all like Diablo.
Not Diablo at all.
Not Diablo at all. The further you go in the game, you take debuffs to your elemental resistances, meaning you start taking additional elemental damage. You want to take things like this to counteract that.
Definitely not like Diablo.
Definitely not Diablo. We are going to come on down here. Like I said, we're going to take Champion of the Cause. We are also going to cut over here and take Revelry, which is plus 20 to maximum mana, 15% increased maximum mana, and plus 2 to mana gain for each enemy hit by your attacks. And we are going to come up to Battle Rouse, plus 15 to maximum mana, 15% increased maximum mana, 3% damage taken gained as mana when hit. Which is pretty snazzy. So, y'all probably shaking your heads right now. You're like, oh my gosh, this guy is all over the board. He's going all down here. He's going all over here. He's going in here, which is where he's supposed to be. What the heck is this guy doing? You don't want to branch all over the place like that. Well, that's because I have a bit of an OCD when I'm making characters, and I ruin them accordingly, in that I want all of the nodes that relate to that character's core functionality just because I want them. In this case, I want all the nodes related to auras. Ben, what did I do with my summoner?
Every summoner skill. Every summoner node.
Indeed, indeed. To the exclusion of everything else. And that's what we're going to do here. So when you leave comments and feedback, take that into account. If you're like, hey, Fritz, you really should not be going down here and taking those nodes in the far south, or you really shouldn't be branching so far off to the west, yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. But if you want to give me some suggestions on maybe switching out some of these mana nodes for some other nodes, something along those lines, that's fine with me. Also keep it in mind, we're going to be taking the Guardian Prestige class. Not D&D either. The Guardian Ascendancy class. And we're going to be using an ability there that converts 15% of our reserved mana to Energy Shield for everyone within the range of our auras, I believe. And so we want to have as much mana reserved as possible. Okay? Tons of mana reserved to take the biggest advantage of that. But I'm going to go ahead and accept these skill points. And then regret it later on. Alright, do I have anything in my inventory that needs dealt with? I do not. So, Mr. Not a Benjamin is playing Padden Thane.
Yes.
Where is the name from, Mr. Not a Benjamin?
Wheel of Time.
Never read it. Probably should. Okay, and our quests. Do you have the same quests? Travel to Prisoner's Gate and travel to Flooded Depths?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any other quests?
No, I don't.
Okay, so we are in sync.
Yes.
We're a freaking boy band.
Well, let's not quite go that far.
Okay, so we will want to go do Flooded Depths first. And the nearest I can get to that is Coast. Do you have any way to get closer?
Um.
I don't believe
what-
there is a good way to get closer.
What? Isn't it the submerged passage what we need? Yeah, I can go to the submerged passage.
Well, come join me in the Coast and we'll walk our happy little asses over there.
Okay. Otherwise, we could do the not Diablo, not Chief.
Yeah, but I want to go ahead and show the way there.
Which, for those of you wondering, is just for me to go to that waypoint, um, and then pop a town portal.
Yes. Um, hold on one second. Okay, I was checking something on the recording software again. Apparently having the recording software open at the same time as the game does not do good things. Benjamin, I just heard a crash. Was that the CIA kicking in your door?
No, that was the cat on the keyboard.
Excellent. See, I have that problem with my ADEM videos. Mr. Tigger Cat especially enjoys my ADEM videos. He likes to come in and start raining havoc down upon me. Oh, I just got Superior Raised Zombie. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. It's not even normal Raised Zombie. It's Superior Raised Zombie. That's so cool. Okay. That is not the spell I meant to cast. Okay. So, how Raised Zombie works. You kill stuff, and then you turn it into zombies. Oh, yeah. And we've already done the Rowan Nest, haven't we?
Yeah.
In the last video.
Yes, we did.
And although I am not doing a summoner build, and I don't think that I am going to... I don't think I'm going to take the skill nodes that buff summons. I am probably going to keep some summon skills on me, since my auras will buff my summons, which is pretty epic. And in case people don't know, I just picked up an item with a blue, a red, and a green slot, or slots, and they are all linked. But otherwise, this piece of equipment is not that useful. The reason I did that is because if I sell this piece of equipment to a merchant, again, we're running on a barter system. There's no hard currency, it's barter. They will give me something called a chromatic orb. Mr. Benjamin, would you like to explain what a chromatic orb is?
Yes, chromatic orbs allow you to alter the color of the sockets on your gear, which can be very important at times, because typically you will see certain types of skills actually it was one color, and that may not work for the current setup that that gear has. They're really good to save because later on you will get to access some equipment that will actually allow you to, more reliably change it, because whenever you alter it, just with one chromatic orb, it's random, and it has a tendency to go to whatever color is typical for that item. For example, daggers, bows will tend to go more greenish. They're weighted that way. Um, bigger, like larger hammers, two-handed swords tend to go red. Wands tend to go blue.
Yes.
But if you
And
use the crafting bench,
yeah,
then you can actually control that
yes. And how do you get crafting benches?
by running the master's quest, the daily quests,
Yes, we have
and
not
getting
found a
experience.
master yet, but I'm sure we will shortly.
Oh, I actually have Haku already.
Well, aren't you just wonderful? I do love ice and lightning spells early in the game. And another tricolor. My lucky day. And here's the Flooded Depths. Mr. Not a Benjamin Shifuede.
I am on my way.
Yes, you're not even going to complain about the Shifuede comments anymore?
No, no, I've given it.
You've given up. That's good. I would like to think that I've slowly broken your soul. I'm going to make some fresh zombies. These guys are rotting on me. And your character is a duelist?
Yes.
I've heard really mixed things about duelists. I have no personal desire to play one.
I don't know. So far, it's interesting.
What's it like?
It's like playing a fighter with the option of doing magic and having dodgy bits of rogue.
Hmm.
They seem very flexible as far as what can be done.
Yep. You didn't want that orb, did you?
No.
No. Okay. Make sure. Yeah, I had originally intended to play this guy as a tank meleeer that used magic to buff defense and do harder hits against bosses and other tough enemies. But then, well, I was going to do that plus support. I wanted him to be tanky support with some ways to buff his defense and buff his attack. Not to a huge extent, but to a limited extent. And now we've thrown all that out the window, and he's just going to be support. Mr. Benjamin is going to keep him alive.
Pretty much.
My mana is spent.
Cool, we killed a boss. I'm guessing a town portal would be appropriate.
Yes.
Okay, I have one. How many do you have?
I have 4. Let me open one.
Yes, do that. Okay. Another thing, if y'all watching this would leave in the comments how the audio sounds, that'd be good. I felt that the dialogue, the volume was turned way too low last episode, so I've turned it up some. If it's too loud now, or if some of the other sound effects are too loud, please let me know.
You managed to kill a granddaddy crab. Pity you couldn't lug it out of the caves for us. Could have made quite the chowder out of it. No matter. We've got one less reason to fear the dark, and I've got one more thing to thank you for.
And another skill point. That's handy. Sell our tricolors for chromatic orbs, which we will store for later. Oops, tried to open the guild stash, which I need to actually set up. Why do I have this helmet in my inventory? Because it's significantly better than the helmet I have, that's why. And I have a large mana flask, that's nice. And a medium life flask. I will store these flasks. If you get 3 of a flask, you can trade in for a larger flask. Control click will let you auto stack. Get another scroll fragment. If you get enough of those, you can trade them for a scroll. And then I have skill points. Buy some area effect radiuses, which are useless for right now, but they will enable us to get down here. And I will use this portal before Benjamin returns, because if he goes through it first, it will close the portal.
But it's not Diablo.
It's not Diablo. The Diablo developers team is watching this. This is what Diablo 3 should have been, just with shinier graphics. You guys need to work on that. Though I can't say that for certain. I have not played Diablo 3, because it just did not look appealing. Oh, I have a silver coin. Benjamin, how many silver coins does it cost to get the quests for this league?
1.
Really?
Yep, 1 each.
Have you closed your town portal yet?
No, I'm still in town.
Well, I'm going to use your town portal. I almost said clown portal. This is what I get for playing a game at 2 in the morning. This is what I get for playing a game at 2 in the morning. I may be lost. There we go. Apparently town portals don't show up in the map unless they're in line of sight. That's lame. Well, let's go talk to the fortune teller lady. Few-year prophecies. Okay, nope, that's not what I need. I need Seek Prophecy.
See
There we go.
The rings that bind grow tighter, the plate thicker, the leather denser, all with a single touch.
Okay. So we got the hardened armor. The rings that bind grow tighter, the plates thicker, the leather denser. All that. You will greatly enhance the quality of an armor piece with a single armor scrap. And when I do that, it fulfills the prophecy. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I have an armor scrap yet. Oh, yes I do. I kind of hate to burn an armor scrap, but I might.
I would save it because the prophecy says you can do it.
Yeah, but I just want to do it so I can show what it is. So, let's see what I'm going to enhance.
I guess it's not a huge deal. We will find many other armor scraps.
Yes we will. Yes we will.
Still make it one of your rares, or
I do not have a rare. And I'm actually going to play it on a common just because it's a superior.
you want a rare?
Do you have a rare?
Yeah, I have these boots, which you might actually like.
Holding out on me.
So you use shields too, don't you?
I think so. Okay. Oh, you have one that increases rarity of items found.
Yes, I knew you'd like that.
Oh, Benjamin. You know I love my rarity of items found.
Yes.
And 10% increased movement speed. Very nice. The shields, meh. With the boots. Oh, the boots. Yes. Do you want something in return?
For something you think I'd use. Maybe.
I have junk.
Oh, no.
Would you like some junk?
Nope. Maybe a good dagger would be nice, but... I did find out that apparently spellcasting goes through daggers, but not through swords, even if they are one-handed swords.
Well, that's interesting. Well, I think I know what I'm going to try and enhance. Boom!
The rings that bind grow tighter, the plate thicker, the leather denser, all with a single touch.
Very cool. So my prophecy is complete, and the quality of these Corruption Urge Iron Greaves has increased, which increases their attributes. Benjamin, does that just increase armor, or does it also increase the attributes it gains from being rare?
No, just the item attributes. So anything that's above the line.
Okay,
above
so
the level.
in this case, armor.
Yes.
Okay. Normally, this is a good tip for beginners. You want to save those, not just because you want to save them up to apply to one really nice piece of equipment, but also because, as Mr. Benjamin said, there are crafting benches later, and the crafting benches, in order to use them, you have to pay in currency items, such as armor, scraps, chromatic orbs, etc. So you want to hoard those.
A little, not excessively though. You can burn a few if you find a good unique or something, or a very, very good rare that you think you're going to use for a while, then by all means.
Benjamin and I disagree on this. I think you need a lot of them for the crafting benches, and so I would hoard almost all of them. Occasionally I'll use some armor scraps or whetstones, but very, very rarely. Okay, so the prophecy was removed. Now what do I do?
Return when you can pay the silver.
Do I not get some sort of reward for doing that?
No, usually the reward is whatever they say, which in this case was a big bonus from the armor scrap.
Oh, so that's why it went ahead and increased it for 20% quality instead of the usual 1%.
Yes.
Okay. And from my understanding, there's some sort of chain you can get from the prophecies.
Yes, when you complete them, then you can later on find prophecies that are more powerful, and there is a way to track them. I think normally you'll be able to tell by the number at the end of it. So it will say such and such 2, such and such 3.
Okay. And these are the achievements for this league specifically. There are also more general achievements. But if you complete enough of the achievements for the league, you will get some sort of vanity item. Such as my witch leaves coins when she walks. Benjamin, you do know at this rate, by the time we get anywhere in this league, it will be ending.
Yes, I'd thought of that.
We should stop having lives.
But all our time.
Yep. I found Fireball. Do you need it? I really don't.
That could be handy.
I don't like Fireball.
It's useful, I found.
There. Does that pay you back for the equipment?
Yes.
Never mind how much you owe my witch for all of the Brandis coins she gave you in the last league.
Help that I give back.
By taking all the good loot. And if I recall, it was somebody helped you when you first started playing this game to power level and get good gear.
Mm-hmm. Just like I helped you with Diablo 2.
Psh. I have no memory of this Diablo 2. It's nice. Finally have a decent piece of equipment. I'm sure I'll find an... Oh gosh, it's a unique named Blood Prince, and the game is lagging while I'm fighting him. And a rare. And the unique is dead.
My mana is spent.
Well, I feel fair that you get to kill stuff and I don't.
Okay. Cool. I did not die during lag. Did they drop anything good? Not really. Oh, Haku's here. Haku's one of the masters.
Warrior.
Mr. Benjamin, do you plan on catching up, or are you going to sit there and play inventory management all day?
I'm not playing inventory management. I'm playing where did everybody go and how can I get there.
We went to the next area. Without you, because you were too slow.
I'm having a special moment then, because I can't find the door.
Oh, it's right there. It's in a place.
Oh, that's good. That is helpful.
Yeah. It leads to another place.
That's even better. I do like places to lead to other places.
Yeah, it's troubling when they don't.
Yes.
Took you long enough. You do this to me all the time with my witch, so consider it a taste of your own medicine. Like, where did Benjamin go? I can't find the exit.
Yes, but with me, you could always follow the trail of corpses.
It's a waste of good corpses, you know. They're put
Well,
to
you
much
have
better.
a summoner that needed to summon zombies.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They're put to much better use by my witch. No use in letting them rot. I found another silver coin. That's
Yes,
super
it does
awesome.
seem that in some areas they will actually drop fairly frequently.
Yeah. Are you coming to Haku, or are you just wandering around lost? There is such a thing as a map.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map and I still don't see.
Do you see me?
Oh, now I see you.
Well, you might want to head over here.
Let me finish making corpses.
I also found the exit to the next zone.
Yes, I call you warrior. Your eyes have already swept your surroundings, identifying threats and escape routes. There is anticipation in your stance, deadly focus in the easy ebb and tide of your breath. Yours is a heart that fights with every beat. I have need of a heart like that. In that haunted place there, a Karun's spirit awaits you. Lost he was, more than 2 centuries ago, fallen beyond battle. Bring him to me so that I might return him to his rightful place. It takes a warrior to find a warrior.
Okay, so the masters give you little mini quests. Haku usually sends you into a special zone where you're supposed to recover spirit. Haku's quests tend to vary quite a bit. Sometimes you have to go destroy a totem and liberate a spirit from it. Sometimes you have to find a spirit at the end, and when you pick it up, the zone starts spawning additional monsters to kill you. Sometimes traps start spawning around you, or in some cases the dungeon's already filled with traps when you enter. Quite a bit of variety. It doesn't really get old that easily. Eventually you meet a master called Varici who ruins your life entirely with impossible quests that are very, very difficult for spellcasters.
Very difficult for anyone that does completely unprejudiced damage.
Yep. Oh, okay, so we're destroying a totem. Benjamin, would you like the Kari spirit, or should I grab him? I'll grab him.
Go ahead.
Oh, you grabbed him.
So he is one of the summoners.
That's nice. Nice trail of corpse you're leaving behind you.
Mm-hmm. Now, for those of you playing solo who don't have someone else to help mop up, you can do what I'm doing with a reasonably fast character and just run. And
Usually
don't
the
have
best
to speed
strategy.
up.
And all of my zombies are dead, so let's get some more. And get our
The
quest
lost
reward.
spirit returned to feast with the ancestors and be born once more into the Karui way. We shall speak again when next you come to Lion Eye's watch. For there is much that we might yet share, my ally.
Okay. Once we get a master to a certain level, which you can see there, you get points towards that level every time you complete one of their quests. Once you get a certain number, they will offer to give you a hideout, which is a place you can travel to and set up crafting benches and also invite masters so that they're more accessible. Am I leaving anything off there, Benjamin?
No.
I'm sure there was something important there we were missing.
Well, you can decorate it to your heart's content.
Oh, yeah, decoration. So
So
thrilling.
important.
Yeah.
So for those of you with a flair for interior design, or
Yeah.
exterior if you choose the graveyard,
Mm-hmm. Back in Parandus League, this is the first place I found Parandus at. I have an unspent skill point. I think I'll go ahead and spend that. There we go. And while not a Benjamin fights, I will steal his loot. A tactic he frequently uses with me.
no, I'm too busy usually making bodies.
Uh-huh. You run way ahead, leave me surrounded, and then while I'm getting unsurrounded, you come back and take all the loot.
Well, you forgot how I appear heroically to the rescue at the last minute, too.
After I've done all the hard work, yeah. Bowling for baddies. Do you not want scrolls of wisdom? You keep leaving them behind.
I'm only leaving out the grade, or leaving the grade ones.
Oh. See, when I see a grade one, I just camp on it until it turns to a color
Yes,
I
I'm
can
such
pick
a
up.
horrible person, I actually let, the game...
This ice spell's pretty kick-ass.
I liked it as a magic, as a witch. And not sorcerer.
Exactly. Well, it was a sorcerer slash necromancer, so it wasn't quite Diablo. I actually like the way they give more flexibility with the characters in this game more than I liked the way Diablo handled it.
There's a silver coin.
Which did you prefer?
I'm not sure.
Because Diablo forced you to be more adaptable, this game gives you more options for customization.
See, on one hand, I'm more familiar with Diablo 2. So, there's that element of familiarity which I don't want to just ignore.
Yeah. To me, it's like Final Fantasy games, and I'm going to go with the completely opposite direction of the Final Fantasy games. I liked the earlier Final Fantasy games where the game gave you less flexibility with the characters because it forced you to adapt.
Spent.
You had to learn to play with the hand you were dealt. Unlike the newer Final Fantasies after 7, where they gave you a lot more options for customizing your characters, and you could make them fit your play style. I mean, it was still fun, but I found the liberating quality detracted from the challenge of the game.
I think this one does a good job of balancing that. Because, I mean, you're always having to make trade-offs.
Yeah.
And not that I would ever criticize Blizzard or Diablo 3, but I think that's why Diablo 3 doesn't seem very fun. It just has too limited setup. Everybody's going to be exactly the same for the most part.
Yeah. Why does this mini-map look so familiar to me?
It's not Diablo.
Okay, Benjamin, if you come back here, I think we're going to go ahead and draw this episode to a close. I think this is a good stopping point.
Oh, okay.
Here, come stand next to my character. Look pretty. Oh, yeah, old bearded dude, and, oh, look, we have matching hats. Isn't that adorable? And matching armor. Wow. But, this has been Paths of Exile. We're going to go ahead and call it a night. We are on our way to the... That is not the key I wanted to press. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. That's also not the key I wanted.
You need to go to the prisoner's gate.
There we go. We're going to the prison, and we will see what is down in its bowels on our next episode. Thank you for watching. Ben.